Alright, Flash on your back for another video. This one's not going to be easy. Um, it's not about me either. I want to talk to you about my best friend. Sadly, he's no longer with us. Uh, he was an alcoholic, and want to dive slightly into that. Uh, um, Spoke to his mother yesterday. She gave permission to do this video, and it's really hard for me. Um, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about it, and um, yeah. So we'll see where it goes. Um, Dan was a wonderful person. He has family. Um, I think the lad's 17 now, but um, we we met when we were I think we were 12 or 13 at secondary school. It was the first time I've ever met him. Um, Wonderful person. Had some uh, major problems with his ears. A lot of operations, and we sort of clicked together. I know I completely say that my time in school was shit, but some of it was alright. I did get friends, and yeah, um, he was just wonderful. Imagine a perfect kind of person, and that's what he was. Um, Unbelievable. Um, I can't I can't understate how good he was. Just he was brilliant, and kind of lost contact. So yeah, yeah, we lost contact um, after we were about 19, 20. Maybe um, yeah, probably older than that. Um, what I need to delve into is his alcoholism. Um, he was suffering with major depression, and his to go to was drinking. Um, Completely what I do now, or sometimes, and he drank way too much. Um, he, the mark of the man is he said that he had a problem and he got help. Um, that's that. That's a big bloke. That's amazing when you turn around and say, "Oh, I can't do it." Um, it's Mark of a man turns around and says, "Yeah, I'm gonna let someone help me." Um, yeah. Um, One of my other friends got married, and I think Dan went missing for a few days, and he didn't turn wedding fine, and it was. He said something about me, um, totally fine. He said, uh, "I can't be there because Johnny's going to drink," and that's fine. That is totally fine by me. Um, I said to my friend at the time, I said, "I will do dry. I won't drink." But what he said was not actually the case, if you kind of know what I mean. Um, I did call him on it. I did call him on it, and he said just didn't want to go. Fair. That, you know what I mean? Could have just turned around, said that, but kind of sort of blamed it on me. And yeah, I was upset. Yeah, of course I was. Um, ooh, how do I was upset, but I knew that it it really wasn't him. If that doesn't sound completely crazy, and maybe thought stupid. Um, he drank coke. Um, was drinking lager at the time, so and it was just like he was fine with being sober. which was good. And now I've got to um, talk about the other times. And this is not going to be easy for me to say. Um, and it's probably not easy to hear. Um, he was alcoholic, and I, at, at one stage, I went into a hospital, suicide attempt, and I think it was in my third day. Yeah, definitely the third day in hospital. I hadn't slept. I was I was in the worst situation that I've ever actually been in. I was smoking fags at the time, so, so I had about 60 on me, 70 maybe. Um, Went out for a cigarette like I had many times, and I was absolutely. You can't ask me about this because I don't have the answers because I was just not there. If you know what I mean. That I don't mean to say anything other than how it was. Um, I wasn't there. I was. The lights were on, but no one was home. Uh, that's the best way I can put it. And I went outside for obviously I think a cigarette. Um, and had a massive seizure. And basically, I do not remember anything about being out there or anything about it. Um, I remember waking up with someone trying to wrap some stuff around my head, and because I had a cut elbow, they were doing the same thing, and I was wheeled out, and the first thing I saw was Dan was there in hospital. You're right. How you doing, John? And he made sure that he knew where I was going, which was good. And when I had this CT scan, um, probably the funniest thing ever because I had no kind of recollection. I thought I just fell asleep. And if you're in that kind of situation that you don't know what's going on. It is hilarious because you have no idea. Um, I was put in a tunnel thing and still thought I was dreaming because I hadn't slept for a while. And just like I heard on the thing, Jonathan, can you not move, please? And I'm just thinking, oh, shit's getting real now. And that's when Dan was there pretty much every day until I got out. I was in hospital for 9 days. And he was very ill, and we kind of bounced off each other. Um, Probably going for a drink with him was not the best idea, but it kind of happened after I got out of hospital. Shall we go for a beer? Yeah. And everything was fine. And um, when he got really ill, um, Mark of the band, he did actually try and put himself into detox. Um, we went to the cinema a few times. He couldn't walk. Um, uh, he could barely walk. I don't want to say stand because he could stand. Um, his body was failing him at that time, and I was. I said to my mom, and I was pretty correct about it. I said Dan's got about 6 months, and she was just like, "No, don't be stupid." And yeah, he did turn around and checked himself into rehab, which was brilliant, but it was too late. Um, he ended up in intensive care, and pretty much visited him every day. He visited me, so that was payback. I've got to go and see him. It was virtually nowhere near where I live, and I don't drive, and My dad was amazing. Well, mum and dad were amazing. Um, Took me, stayed in the car park, took me back. Uh, the debt that I have to them is so much. Um, like I say, it wasn't close to the house. Probably about 10 miles. Um, so I visited him in ITU. A lot of you probably do know that COVID happened in it's COVID-19, but this was kind of he was in hospital in 2019, but 2020, um, pretty much where I was seeing him all the time. Um, I had one day I was coming at Spartans in the afternoon, and I saw Dan in the morning, and it wasn't doing the best. And I went down Spartans. I think England were playing Wales at the time, but well, I think definitely, yeah. But I can't remember the score or anything. I think England won, but I, I don't really care. But and I got a phone call saying they're gonna stop Dan's treatment. Write me in half. The only thing I could do was go and be with him. So that's actually what I did. Um, Went up to the hospital again. Stayed all night. Um, yeah. Um, there was a lot of doctors there. I think it was about 3 o'clock in the morning that said you need to go and get some kit. Um, they showed me to a relative's room. They didn't have to because I wasn't a relative. Um, I went into the room. Um, Still I can't hand on my heart say that I slept that night or that morning. I can't. I literally don't know if I slept or I didn't. And Dan came out of it a little bit, and the next week I was visiting him. Everything was fine, and then COVID hit, and I couldn't even see him anymore. Um, he came down with COVID as well. He survived that. Um, so yeah, I think it was about 6 weeks. 6 weeks after, maybe he passed. Um, that broke me. Uh, I never felt that kind of pain before. Um, it's kind of blame myself, and that that was definitely not a good place for me. Um, I said to my mum and dad, how would you feel if you killed someone? Um, that's the way I felt. I felt that I had murdered someone, even though that's ridiculous saying it, but that's that's how I felt at the time. Um, I think I've had about 2 or 3 suicide attempts since that, so that's kind of how serious it was that I was taking it. Not well. Um, I did about, I think it was about 2 years after. Um, this is going to sound kind of weird because we're moving on a little bit, but about 2 years after, I went to finals day and with my dad, brother-in-law, and friend, and that was the first day that I didn't think about Dan, and it was all right. Don't know. I literally, when I didn't think about him for a day, um, the next day I was a mess when I woke up, uh, broken. Um, I felt guilty for not thinking about him for a day. Um, that was the first time, and do you know what? It is actually all right not to think about him all the time. Um, yeah. Um, I don't know how to kind of say it, but um, yeah, I can go a day or 3 days. Um, I'm guessing that's kind of the healing process. Um, do I still feel guilt? Yes. Um, Lots of it. Yeah. Um, I still feel guilt every time that I think about that. Um, could I have? Should I? Did I? Um, I don't think that will ever leave me. But honestly, think there's nothing that I could have done, and that's that's enough. Um, I'm still in contact with his mom and dad and his brother. Um, I don't know why. I don't want to say that I let someone down because I don't think that I did. Uh, I was, I did nothing basically, and that's that's the one that's actually going to stay with me for the rest of my life. I could have done more, but I didn't. Uh, yeah. Uh, the person that comes out the other side, uh, yeah, breaks me. Uh, don't think it's ever going to leave me, but I, I have to live with it. So that's the way I feel. Anyway, um, obviously others probably won't think that kind of way, but um, anyway, I think I'm going to leave it here, and I will do another one in a couple of days. That's only will do. Um, say, look after each other, hug each other. Um, gonna do another one in a few days. So, fast on you out, and trust me, look after yourselves. All right, bye.